Surprisingly enough, we are already on the ninth episode of news about the next Legend of Zelda. Since new information is becoming increasingly more and more difficult to find, I'll discuss popular Zelda theories while bringing in new information. That being said, let's delve in. Now, before we get into Zelda theories, let's get into some new information. According to an article by The Examiner, an interview with Ryuji Aonuma was found. Aonuma was questioned on the progress of a new Zelda title. What he said was clarification that the next mainline Zelda will implement HD features that were similar in the Wind Waker remake. Other control strategies were also discussed, such as placing the map and HUD purely on the gamepad while leaving the home screen almost devoid of items. However, Aonuma discussed that the series will be going over a great metamorphosis. A couple of the quotes in the interview really got me thinking. For example, this quote by Aonuma said something that wouldn't make it matter whether Link or Princess Zelda appear in it or not. Something where it wouldn't even matter if Zelda is actually a princess or not. Now, this quote doesn't necessarily mean that neither Link nor Zelda will appear in the next title. However, the quote does speak volumes that the next mainline title will be having a lot of changes in its story and setting. As said in previous episodes, Aonuma and Development Team Number 3 was working on multiple Zelda titles. The team has admitted in using techniques found in one game to implement and solve issues in another. In clarification, it is speculated the next mainline Zelda will have similar features to the Wind Waker HD and Link Between Worlds. The setting of Hyrule is already confirmed to be a fact and is said to be vastly different than past iterations. In addition, the gamepad is also confirmed to be the centerpiece control scheme. So now we got through all the solid information, let's discuss possible Zelda theories that may or may not happen. Before I discuss these theories, I must point out that they're all fan-made speculation. Okay, so the first theory I'll be discussing is the Tetraforce theory. Before I go in depth about this theory, I'll explain what it is. The Tetraforce is the idea that there are 4 goddesses rather than just 3 in Hyrule lore. This theory really took off in Majora's Mask when the Goddess of Time was discussed. In addition, in Twilight Princess, each light spirit corresponds to one of the goddesses. However, there are 4. This had led some to believe in the Tetraforce theory. Some believe the Tetraforce will be discussed in depth in the future Zelda title. However, there are tons of faults about this theory. Development Team Number 3 and Aonuma has stated on multiple occasions that there is no such thing as a Tetraforce. The theory, while popular, is groundless. The next theory is a 5th timeline theory. Some speculate that the events of Twilight Princess created another time split between the Twilight Realm and the normal world. This theory, while young and gaining momentum, in my opinion really is unlikely. I doubt that Development Team Number 3 would attempt to make the timeline even more complicated than what already is. In all honesty, the official timeline is already complicated enough. In addition, the theory doesn't seem like it holds a lot of truth in it. The next theory is really possible and one of my favorites, the Hyrule Unification War. In this theory, some speculate a future Zelda title that discusses the Great War before the events of Ocarina of Time. The event is noted in the official Zelda timeline and is referenced in Ocarina. Also, it would be interesting to see a Zelda title where Hyrule was in constant war and in chaos. This theory does have some ground, and I would honestly be interested in seeing it come to life one day. Moving on, the next theory is what happened to the Hero of Time after Majora's Mask. Now, it is noted that the Link in both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask later on became the hero Shade in Twilight Princess. Many fans of this particular theory state that the story of how the Hero of Time died will be clarified in the future. Also, the character model of the hero Shade is also noted. Some speculate about his missing eye. It is speculated after Majora's Mask that the Hero of Time was lost in the woods and became Astolfos in accordance to Hyrule lore. This is the image for a regular Astolfos. Now here is the hero Shade. Some of these theorists claim that Link in Majora's Mask lost one of his eyes. In addition, in his wolf form, the hero Shade also has a lost eye. Some speculate that a much darker Zelda title will tell the Hero of Time's last days until his death. This theory I find the most interesting, being that there's a lot of solid evidence to it. Perhaps more information about the Hero of Time will be told. Now, the last theory I will be discussing is Midna's return theory. Now, there's actual evidence that Midna could be returning. Aonuma did say that there was enough fan support, Midna might return. however not in the same timeline. At the end of the events of Twilight Princess in the Child timeline, Midna was lost forever. However, in the other 3 timelines, this has not happened. It could be possible that Midna may return in a different timeline where the events of Twilight Princess never happened. Perhaps we will be seeing a cel-shaded Wind Waker inspired Midna in the future. Now that's all I have to discuss for this week. I'll leave the sources used in the description below. Now, I know I didn't talk a lot about new information in this episode. The reason is that news is really getting hard to find. In addition, a Zelda Theory video sounded fun and some commenters wanted to see it, so here you go. Thanks to Michael Lowski for contributing to this week's video. If you want to contribute news on next week's video, message me with a source and I'll feature your name on next week's episode, which will be on the 17th. Please like, favor, and subscribe if you're new. Till then, this is the video of the day.
Deal with a whole freaking cadre of weird-ass monsters. Most criminals and abductors, they just hire some swarthy-ass goons to keep watch. No, not Ganon. He's got a whole fucking platoon of goofy-ass weirdo freak monsters trying to push my shit in. I don't know what the fuck you are or what combination of farm animals somebody screwed to make you, but I'm just gonna kinda off to the side here. Did you just spit a fucking rock at me? Oh, that is fucking it.